What's up, fam? It's your boy Hustle's Home, and I'm back with another one. Today, I'm gonna talk about the sacred fight. The fight I don't usually talk about because it's a bunch of hearsay. But since I got my hoodie from my boy Art Man, know what I mean? The fire came in the mail today, ladies and gentlemen. The fire from my man Art Man Boxing. You know what I mean? Go check my man Art Man Boxing out. I'm gonna leave his social media and I'm gonna leave his YouTube in the description. I was scrolling through the Twitter. I seen him drawing on the YouTube. I seen him drawing on his YouTube live, and I was like, "Yo, that thing is fire!" So I went in his little description and clicked the link, and boom, bruh got merch. And he did this one exclusive. He was drawing this. This one hadn't even made it to the. I don't know if he got it on the site. But he I don't know if this one on the site, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is an exclusive. And if this is an exclusive, I'm the only one that got it. So go hit your man Art Man up. Hit my man Art Man up for your exclusive hoodie. Go look at his merch. Go look at his go look at his YouTube. Go like him, subscribe to him, you know what I mean? Say what's up, say hustler home sent you. Say I'm a hustler and I came. He sent me. But anyway, get back to the soap opera. This is soap opera right here. You know what I mean? This is all in the family. This is as the world turned. This is all that. This is what this is right here. They got this the only fight. I a fight is big when you got grown men up here about the fight, about talking about another grown man. This is crazy. These Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. got such a cult following that these brothers be up here arguing. I'm talking about successful brothers. Some of these brothers are millionaires, up here talking about this is who going doing this, who doing this, who ducking. I'm telling you, man, this is the biggest fight in boxing. This has been the biggest fight in boxing for years, but these fights always, end up being more hyped than the actual fight, in my opinion. I hope it doesn't happen, but usually, like when the last time this happened, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the exact thing. Like we waited 5 years to get that fight. All the hype behind Manny Pacquiao was even fighting his old opponents and all that, and they really boosted Manny Pacquiao. They literally built Manny Pacquiao's back into his career, back the rear middle, the back of the middle, if that makes sense. Because Manny Pacquiao, his 30s, because early 30s was built around the Floyd Mayweather fight. You know, and once we got that fight, Floyd beat the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like I ain't see what I saw. Floyd smashed Manny Pacquiao, and I don't want that to happen here. I don't want that to happen here. I don't want neither one of these brothers getting smashed on. I'm a fan of both fighters. I'm a big fan of both fighters. I got the Bud shirt on. I got the big fish. I just got my Bud shirt today. I been had my Errol Spence shirt though. I been had my Errol Spence and my Deontay Wilder shirt, you know. But I don't see how both fighters beat each other. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a fan. I can't sit here and cap like I feel like Earl will stomp the mud hole in Terrence Crawford or Terrence Crawford will smash Earl Spence. Like I don't got that. Like I don't look at both of them fighters and be like, yeah, Earl will smash Crawford or yeah, yeah. Yeah, Crawford to smash Spence. I don't see that. I don't see that because they're both retardedly good at what they do well. Like let's like with very little holes. Both of these guys are ridiculous. The only thing with Crawford is I feel like with Crawford, his best attribute is his ability to switch. You know what I mean? As far as how as far as how the public sees Crawford's abilities, his abilities to switch is always commented on or always praised. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, he need to stay away from Southpaw because when he's Southpaw, in my opinion, he's a little defensively irresponsible. He's more willing to be hit when he is in the southpaw stance. He's more aggressive, yeah, but his willingness to be hit is there versus when he fights orthodox, which makes him he's more defensive responsible. His left hand's up and stuff like that. I don't think he should play around with the best southpaw. Errol Spence Jr. is the best southpaw. And if you go into his world, if you have another weapon that the southpaw Earl Spence southpaw ability and Terrence Crawford southpaw ability ain't the same ability. In this fight, whenever Terrence Crawford is gonna go southpaw, I believe Earl Spence gonna go to his body. You know what I mean? Like I got in my mind's eye, I got Earl Spence going to his body more when he's in the southpaw stance, which would be, in my opinion, a really good strategy. But their power's even, but is a different type of power. You know, Earl Spence beats dudes down. He go in there, he beats you down. He beats you to submission. When he beat Danny Garcia, he beat the fight out of Danny Garcia. When he beat Mikey Garcia, he beat the fight out of Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia didn't want to fight no more. He beat the fight out of uh Kell Brook. He beat the fight out of what's my man with the purple trunks on? Lamont Peterson. Like, but Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, he gonna hit you once. He gonna hit you once, and he'll spark you clean out. He gonna hit you once, and that's the difference in the knockout power. Now, can Errol Spence remain defensive responsible enough to survive the entire fight to be outboxed? Now can Earl Spence stay defensively responsible enough to outbox Terrence Bud Crawford? Terrence Bud Crawford can be outboxed. We've seen little slabs of it with the Kell Brook. You've seen slabs of it when he was going up against Sean Porter. So the outboxing can happen. But is it because Terrence Crawford start to cruise in his fight? Because at one point he turns it up. And when he turns it up, he's an outright beast. Is he going to be turned up as soon as he get in this fight? Because if he try to find rounds against a fighter with the IQ of Errol Spence Jr., he's going to look up and it's going to be the 10th round. But at the same time, is his fight still going to be there in the later rounds? Because Errol Spence is coming. Relentlessness. He outdogged Sean Porter, y'all. We all thought going into that fight with Sean Porter, we thought that Sean Porter's weapon was his activity. His best weapon was his activity, and we thought that Earl was going to have to box him. No, that did not happen. That was a dogfight. Although I give Sean Porter props for making it a dogfight, but I don't know if Earl wanted it to be on the outside. It was sometimes where you felt like Earl was kind of getting tired, and Sean Porter was kind of turning him, but Sean Porter was also turning Terrence Crawford too. I don't know if it was before they turned up, because Terrence Crawford got a fifth gear. You know what I mean? Errol Spence is cruise control. Errol Spence got the same raw pace every single fight. Even when he boxing you, he's walking you down. He's not on the back foot. Terrence Crawford, he can fight on the back foot. So these guys, this fight is a great, great fight to where I don't understand how two people can look at these fighters and be like, yeah, Terrence Crawford beat the shit out of Errol Spence. Yeah, Errol Spence beat the shit out of Terrence Crawford. I just can't call that. I simply can't call that. But I give the edge to Errol Spence. Why, Hustler? Why do you still give the edge to Errol Spence? Level of competition. Level of competition. Although they fought the same dogs, they fought the same dogs at different times. You know, people act like years don't matter. People act like years don't matter. Sean Porter had already retired. He took the fight knowing he was gonna quit against Terrence Bud Crawford. Why was he about to quit? Did Errol Spence take something from Sean Porter? We don't know. We don't know if Errol Spence took the dog out of Sean Porter, because that dog that was there that night of the Crawford fight wasn't that same dog that was there during the Errol Spence fight. That wasn't the same dog. You know? Just like even with Kell Brook, they both beat the hell out of Kell Brook. Well, no, I take that back. I take that back. Kell Brook did his thing against both of those young fellas. The only difference is Terrence Crawford smoked him up. Errol Spence he bludgeoned him to death. Is the difference between getting stabbed in the neck and getting bludgeoned to death. You know, and can Terrence Crawford take these punches without shutting down and going into survival mode? Because Errol Spence he even put Sean Porter in survival mode. Look at this 12th round. Look at the 12th round. He put this guy in cruise control. He put this guy in a defensive shell. He had the Garcia whole. I'm gonna put them both in a box. He had both of these champions. Look, there was no jab for Mikey. Mikey's best weapon is his jab. Like, there was no jab against Mikey. Like, these guys are spectacular, bro. Like, these guys are spectacular. These two fighters right here are spectacular. Now, with that being said, the business have to be put out. We got to talk a little bit about the business. Listen, Bud Crawford, if you can hear this message, got your shirt on. Look. Come on. You can't say I'm not a fan, B. You can't say I'm not a fan, B. You can't say I'm not a fan. Take the 40, brother. Take the 40. Take the 40, man. If you think he a bluff, call his bluff. Take the 40, brother. Take the 40. If you accept the 40, we get this fight. You're 34 years old, big dog. Big dog, you're finna be 35. Next year you turn 35. Big dog, if you can hear me, take the 40. I don't care about none of this outside. This right here is clickbait. This clickbait from the video Terrence Crawford put out the other day, talking about big fish, where you at? Realize that big fish I put up there look vicious, because that's what it is. A shark is a fish. A shark is a fish, y'all. A shark is a fish. Apex predator. That's what Spence is. Spence is an apex predator. This man got thrown out of Ferrari. He got thrown out of Ferrari and took on the number 3 welterweight in the world as soon as he got back. That was his return fight. Danny Garcia wasn't the person to play with. Danny Garcia was not a person to play with. Danny Garcia only lost to the creme de la creme, to Keith Thurman in his prime. He lost to one time, and that was a debatable. He lost to Sean Porter, and that was a debatable. Come on, man. If you give Terrence Crawford, credit at 140, you got to give Danny Garcia credit at 142, though. Let's stop playing though. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing with boxing. So at the end of the day, when they fight, this is the biggest fight in the world. Shout outs to Terrence Bud Crawford. Shout outs to Errol Spence. Shout outs to both fandom. Make the fight. We need this. We need this. I'll pay 100 for it. Give me, hey, make it 100. Hey, make it 100. I give one away. Come on, play. Let's make this fight, boxing. Boxing, we need to make this fight. So that's all I'm gonna say. Don't forget to comment, hate, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check my man Art Man Boxing out. Link is gonna be in the description. He got some fire over there, y'all. Y'all definitely gotta go check him out. And I'm out.